Like, well, I guess we
so
have to dress
amazing.
him up for Halloween every year as Hans
Yeah.
and Franz.
Yeah, with those big muscles. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
and
see,
Gap
what else?
Girls.
Gap Girls, yeah. I used to love that. I mean, that one of the greatest lines. Lay off, I'm starving.
Yeah, and he's
Charlie.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I had that Jeffrey's department store on there. Or do you guys ever remember that one? But,
that was the one with Will Ferrell and like the really.
yeah, it was always
Yeah.
the guest host and Jimmy Fallon acting like snobby department store owner
Yes.
or workers, and then at the end, Will Ferrell comes out in like a motorized cart, something ridiculous outfit with like a bowl cut. It was just so insanely funny. The tiny phone too.
Yeah. Oh yes, because I remember one in particular was Sean Hayes.
Yeah, the Sean Hayes one. He was losing it the whole skit. Both
Yes,
of them.
he was.
Hayes and Fallon.
We didn't mention any Eddie Murphy ones, and the one I remember the most was Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood.
Yeah, Mr. Robinson's was a good one, especially being probably knowing Mr. Rogers growing up and everything. So.
Right.
Well,
Right.
and I think so. If we're gonna talk Eddie Murphy for a minute, wasn't there a skit where he impersonated James Brown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Celebrity Hot Tub.
Celebrity
Yes.
Hot Tub. He just like, oh, it's
He was
hot.
perfect. He did a perfect imitation
Yeah,
of
he
James
did.
Brown.
He'd take off the robe and step in, and he'd be like, oh, it was great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chopping broccoli is another one. You guys
Oh,
broccoli.
chopping broccoli.
with Dana Carvey. It was
Really?
one of my favorites.
Well, if we're gonna do that era, we gotta do Lunch Ladyland too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Lunch Ladyland.
Yeah,
The
that was
Hanukkah
on
song.
Hanukkah
Any of the
song.
songs, and most of Sandler's songs that were
Yeah.
on there were really good.
Yeah.
And I think another Andy Samberg one we missed is I'm on a boat.
I'm
Every
on a
time
boat.
Oh, yeah, the
Yes.
That's
Yes.
Every time
not
I'm on a
safe
cruise,
for
I sing that
podcast
song.
lyrics.
Seriously. So good.
Ah.
Oh, they had, well, if we want the Eddie Murphy too, the buckwheat.
Buckwheat sings.
Oh,
Um,
Buckwheat was amazing.
So when I was a kid, that was a little bit before my time, but I got this VHS tape called The Best of Eddie Murphy on Saturday Night Live. I probably still have it somewhere. And Buckwheat Sings was on that, and one of the things was you couldn't understand anything he said, so it would have like the subtitles underneath. And then there was one song that like not even the interpreter knew what they were, so there was just question marks underneath. It's like, I know that song, it's Betty Davis Eyes, I got it, I know it. I should have written Saturday Night Live and said, oh, I know, hey, in case you don't know what that song was, it was Betty Davis Eyes, but you're welcome. But there was do you remember the Chris Farley show?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
The talk show
I'm
where
thinking
he would
of the
interview
one
people.
when he had Paul McCartney
Yes.
on
Yeah,
and
that
how
was-
awkward
Yes.
that was.
And he said, remember that time you were on the Beatles?
That was awesome.
That's all he would do. Like, but that's any of us. That's any of us. Like if anyone ever talked to a celebrity, that's totally how we would be. And then he would beat himself up.
Yeah. He'd always grab his hair and be like, I'm stupid.
I'm so
Yeah.
stupid. It's like, no, you're doing fine. You're doing fine.
For going back to like some of the Farley, the Zagat skit, where he would I don't know where he would be reading, he'd be like dressed like an old lady, and
With Adam
Sandler was the guy.
Sandler was the
They would be reading
guy.
the like reviews of restaurants to go to. That was one of the best.
How about Coffee Talk?
Yeah, coffee.
That was actually
Walk
on my
amongst
list.
yourselves.
And I
That
think
was
of
a
the
good one.
episode with Madonna on it, and
Yes.
then Roseanne as Liz's mom, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
they finally
Madonna.
get Barbara on.
Yeah, Barbara.
Oh my God, the Prince of Twides. Yes, I can do the accent, kind of.
And then
That was
another
pretty good.
Madonna one was the Wayne's World.
Oh yeah. Well, they did the
Oh yeah,
Justify My Love
video. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
good.
right. Oh,
How
And then
about
I
Go ahead.
think of Dana Carvey as George H.W.
Yeah.
Bush.
he was so good at that?
Him
Yeah.
and Will Ferrell as George W. is one.
We
of my
gotta
favorites.
talk
That was
about
like-
who was the cast member that did the best impersonation of a president.
We gotta talk about Hammond as Bill Clinton,
Yeah,
though.
I
Oh
think-
man.
Hammond and Bill Clinton probably was the best. I mean, he so nailed it.
I think my favorite was Will Ferrell as George W. because he got the tone of it
Yes.
so like.
Oh man.
Yes,
don't
he
even-
did.
It didn't even matter like what you were politically, it was just so like caricature, and it was just so funny.
The
It
debate
didn't matter.
between Will Ferrell as George Bush and Al Gore. I think
yeah.
Daryl
Daryl
Hammond was
is
Al Gore.
The lockbox one? Is that the
Yeah,
lockbox?
yeah. Al Gore kept saying lockbox. Everything was in a lockbox.
And then strategery.
Yeah,
Strategery.
One word that could describe your campaign. Strategery.
That's pretty funny.
I just want to say, don't mess with Texas.
Oh, yeah.
That was always his thing. And well, there was this one where he talks about the axis of evil.
Oh, yeah.
And he always says Iran, Iraq, and one of the Koreas.
He'd always like say, they'd always pronounce the people's names or the countries funny in a funny way.
But then I think of Dana Carvey though as
Bush
the Senior, and there's that one episode in particular where he's like airing his speech in Iraqi television, and then they have the panel afterwards, kind of like analyzing. And
how he did.
Yes. And
Dana Carvey is
Dana Carvey's big thing as Bush Senior was not gonna do it. I can't even do it because
not gonna do it.
Not gonna do it.
Not gonna do it. That's funny.
Didn't mention the Coneheads.
Yeah, Coneheads were good.
No, we didn't.
Yeah,
we didn't mention any Belushi or Gilda. Like Rosanna Dana.
Rosanna Dana was really good. What was the best Belushi thing?
Where he played that samurai, that was pretty good.
That was good. Yeah,
the name of
Samurai was good.
I mean, Blues Brothers stuff, but I don't know if they had skits on.
I'm not sure.
They were just really sang when they were on there.
Yeah.
I don't remember them having. I don't think they had skits. I think it was just.
They'd sing.
Yeah, they just sang.
And then it turned into the movie.
You know what else? How about MacGruber?
MacGruber's pretty funny.
Yeah, MacGruber's pretty good.
Canteen Boy, do you remember that?
Yes, and I was thinking of the one with Alec Baldwin as the troop leader.
Yes.
I don't even think they show that anymore because of the
No.
There's no way they show that. No way.
There's another one I remember. I have a couple of listed here that are very, very like specific. One was like a skit in the 80s. I don't even think they show it anymore. Called I just call it the Penis Song. I don't know if any of you saw that, but they were at like a nude beach. It was like Dana Carvey, John Lovitz, Kevin Neal, and all them. And you could see like they had like a bar in the middle section, so it looked like they were nude. And they just came up with like, they were just like, hey, look at the new guy with the penis, and they just say penis like about 100 times in the skit. And I think they like banned it because they said penis so many times.
It
is so funny.
That skit.
And I think they like sang at the end, they're like penis, 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 penis song. And it kept like, it was just so over the top ridiculous. It was so funny.
Oh, so many choices.
And another one was when The Rock was on, there was a random skit where Will Ferrell played Neil Diamond and The Rock was dressed as Bigfoot. You will never see this anywhere. I can't even find it anywhere. It's so funny. I'm glad I recorded it then.
Was that the first time The Rock was on?
I think it was. And it was.
Was it like back in his wrestling days?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he was just
it was
a
so
wrestler.
random.
And in fact, all the WWF wrestlers were there, and like they pretended like they were gonna fight, and it's like, hey, good luck, man. And I was an insane wrestling fan back then, so I was
that was probably
crazy because at that time, like I really didn't watch most of the Will Ferrell years. I
weren't into it then.
I just wasn't into like the early 2000s stuff. And but I watched that episode. I was just so. Yeah,
that was just a funny skit because it was just so random. It's like they made a duet album together called All Aboard the Freedom Train. It was just so ridiculous, the stuff they were coming up with and singing. And he was like, I think,
man.
It was it was great.
Toonces the driving cat.
Toonces. Oh, I forgot about
the cat that could drive a car.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Sprockets was another good one.
Sprockets. Oh, Sprockets was amazing.
Just popped into my head. Like I'm going off the list.
Oh, how about Daily Affirmation?
Oh yeah,
Stuart Smalley. Yeah.
Especially
the one with Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
yeah.
So you can't dribble the ball as well.
He couldn't even say it at one point. He like stopped. Like Michael Jordan started laughing almost.
Yeah, Michael Jordan just lost it. He's like, I don't have to dribble the ball fast or throw the ball in the basket.
The way he was saying it, throw the ball in the basket. He like lost it. That's so funny.
There is a and I saw this on a lot of top lists. It was called White Like Me. It was an Eddie Murphy skit where he dressed up as a white person.
Yes, he put on the mustache and the glasses.
Right.
Pretty funny,
he was
I like that one too. There was the Will Ferrell one where they did the I don't know the name of the characters, but when him and Rachel Dratch played those people in the hot tubs.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about earlier when they had Walken on. They would always do it when Walken was there.
Yeah, they did Walken. Okay. He was on a bunch of times. A few times. It was every time Walken was on, they do that skit.
Yeah, the lovers.
The lovers, the lovers. They pronounce stuff so wrong. I remember Will Ferrell at one point. He was like, "We went back and we drove away in our Subaru instead of Subaru," and I was like losing it. It's such a funny skit. And same thing with Jimmy Fallon. If he was in the skit,
he lost it.
He wasn't getting through it.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. There was the one during the with Jimmy Fallon and Rachel Dratch. They were like playing the teenagers from Boston.
Oh yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, and Horatio would always show up at the end doing something stupid.
Yes.
That was a good skit. Oh, they had the one where he was they were on their like webcam show or something too.
Yeah, he and Horatio Sands, they were like the stoners in college.
Yeah, that's it. I don't know what their name. Oh, Jared's room, I think.
Jared's room, and Horatio Sands would actually always lose it first.
Yeah, he would always start. He would always be in the back. He was like the super stoner guy.
You know who we haven't mentioned who deserves a mention? Kate McKinnon.
Oh yeah.
There's that those skits they do, those close encounter ones where it's like they all describe their alien encounter, and it's usually two people, and they describe it's like, oh, it was so beautiful, it was so I was filled with peace, and then she's like, no, that's not how it happened to me.
She had the worst experiences ever.
Right, it's like they were all little, they were all playing with my boobs or something. It was just a stupid thing. And then like guaranteed, like somebody, I think all of them would just lose it.
Well, Kate McKinnon honestly is like the only funny part of modern SNL to me.
Basically.
I mean,
I'm not sure how much of a fan I am of any of them, except like Kenan. They do that Black Jeopardy is pretty funny.
Yeah, I do like Kenan Thompson, and actually Kenan as Steve Harvey on Family Feud.
Yes.
Oh, that's what we forgot. So we're talking about Jimmy Fallon and Justin Timberlake. The Family Feud episode where Justin Timberlake's playing Jimmy Fallon.
Yes, that was
Jimmy
really
Fallon
good.
Plays Jim Parsons from Big Bang.
Oh yeah, I remember that now.
And every time I watch that, I'm in stitches.
He nailed it. He so nailed Jimmy Fallon.
Well, and I think of they have all the characters, and whoever played what's her face, or no, it wasn't like Big Bang. It was like the CBS team. Whoever played I can't remember the name of Allison Hannigan's character on How I Met Your Mother, but whoever played Allison Hannigan was awesome. And then I'm trying to think of who was on the NBC team, and I remember they just have like that random cast member who's like never on, and he's like, oh, and Kenan as Steve Harvey's like, oh, who are you? He's like, oh, I'm on SNL. And he's like, okay then.
Okay. Well, speaking of Kenan, I like that. What is that one skit where they'd be doing like Scared Straight, and he would be talking about a movie or something.
Yeah,
that is an underrated one. But that was pretty funny too. I like that.
I am just looking at all of the Kate McKinnon. I'm just going back to Kate McKinnon for a minute.
Okay.
I think she's kind of one of my favorite impersonators on SNL, to be honest.
Yeah.
I just think about all the characters she's played. Like, I think of her playing Bieber on the Celebrity Jeopardy 40th anniversary.
Good as Bieber.
Killed it.
She also does this old Russian lady.
Yes. Olga.
Babushka.
Olga. Yeah.
Olga or Olya. And then she does a really good Jane Lynch, almost too good. It's kind of scary.
Yeah.
I know many more. The Ladies' Man. Remember, I like The Ladies' Man.
Ladies' Man. Yeah.
Yeah, Tim Meadows, I feel like, is one we haven't touched on.
Yeah.
He's one of the longest tenured SNL guys.
He was always like a secondary guy.